Calabria in the Ocean Manor Hotel on the Galt Ocean Mile.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, coming to you live today from Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort in the fabulous Fort Lauderdale, right on the beach here. Galt Ocean Drive, 4040 Ocean Drive is where you'll find this location. Beautiful spot. I'm sitting here solo, but I will be joined momentarily by Mike Lubie Lubitz. There he is. Hello. There's Lubie. He was playing with buttons. I was playing with buttons. I think I've gotten us loaded onto the Let's Eat South Florida group. Never a dull moment there. And our cohort and friend, Jeff Defo DeForest, is off shocking to Atlantic City. You figure a guy who's only got so many years left, and maybe he'll want to explore the world like you and Cheryl's are doing all the time. You're going to Morocco, you're going to Bali, you're going to here and
Hawaii last year.
Yeah, Hawaii. And then, wait, you were in Hawaii last year?
You remember when I took the last time I went away almost a year ago?
So let's see. December. Hawaii had devastating fires.
They had volcanoes when we were there.
Volcanoes. Morocco had an earthquake. Neighboring Libya, which you were thinking of going to, had floods. I would say if Lubie is coming to your neighborhood, it's like Jim Cantore on the Weather Channel.
Get out of the way.
Run for the hills. No, we're just kidding. We're here because everything is peaceful and quiet and calm here. It is beautiful.
Yes.
We're looking out at the ocean at Casa Calabria, one of the rare Italian restaurants in town where you have the oceanfront view. I'm watching the shimmering waves. The sea looks, it's not the bright aqua, but again, looks very inviting. And down below us, beneath us, is the Bamboo Beach Tiki Bar, where I thought we might be coming from to talk about football season, because that's a great place to watch games.
Great place. I watched my game there.
Yeah, and but Frank Talrico, the owner, he wants people to know, because it seems like it's a hidden gem. And I came here a couple of weekends ago with let's say a dining companion.
Oh, nice. I didn't realize that. Okay, good for you.
She doesn't want to be named on the show.
Even though we've named her many a time.
People know who she is. But no, we had a fantastic meal here. And again, this is, paying my own freight. We had just a lovely, we started with the beef carpaccio. We had a couple of pasta specials. I mean, obviously the gnocchi, which should be world famous. We got the gnocchi in the that beautiful gorgonzola cream sauce that we've featured here before. And then Chef Salvatore had a special going that was this house-made rigatoni in a pistachio cream paste.
Oh, wow.
And, I like pistachio. And again, those Bronte pistachios from Sicily, which are like the world's best pistachio. But that was a creamy, delightful dish. And then we, just blew the bank on Dover sole, which
on top of all that,
a specialty, which you don't see a lot. When you do see it, it's usually a pretty penny, and a lot of times it's triple digits now. Here, I always ask, when they said, we have the beautiful Dover sole, fresh in from, overseas, over by, in between England and France. And I always ask how much, because I don't think it's gauche, because nobody likes going out to eat and then being shocked by the price. Some people just go with the special, and then when they see, oh my God, lamb chops were $85, they get.
Well, exactly. If you're going to do it, then you're not allowed to criticize, and you like criticizing, so you need another price.
I don't think it's gauche. It's like if you're going to buy a car, you ask how much is the price. If I'm going to buy a Dover sole at a nice restaurant, I'm going to ask the price. And a lot of times the price I hear is $95 or $120 down in Miami. Here, the price was $68.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, sold. And again, Chef Salvatore, tableside service, one of those classic
Oh,
features
really?
where he wheels out the whole fish that has been expertly prepared and grilled, and he has this little special sauce on the side. He debones it surgically. Did
Oh,
you see my?
wow.
I guess
No, I
you
didn't
was
see it. I
you
didn't. I
you
never even
were
heard about this
away.
experience.
I did post about it on the Let's Eat group. I shared some video and some pictures of the Dover sole as it was plated and filleted tableside. Absolutely
That sounds
gorgeous,
spectacular.
surgical precision. Chef Orlando did a spectacular job, and then he pours this little sauce, and you never know. Sometimes Dover sole is just with very light that Meunier, that butter sauce,
the
that's the
lemon.
classic French. He went a little bit Italian. It was like an olive oil and lemon citrus
Oh,
and
wow.
some roasted cherry tomatoes that were in it that he kind of ladled up lovingly on these beautiful, succulent, juicy fillets. And let me tell you, that was a tremendous dish with some sauteed spinach and roasted potatoes on the side. And I got a nice bottle of Amarone. I mean,
Nice.
let's just
Wow.
say, when those checks come in, it's nice.
I
And
was gonna say, you know how to
not
celebrate.
afraid to spend it. Gonna be gone soon. But meanwhile, we're here today, and we're going to be again regaled by Chef Salvatore Frank Talrico, the owner of Ocean Manor Resort. And we're here at 4040 North Ocean Drive,
The
right?
Hotel Magnet.
Called Ocean Drive. Yeah, Hotel Magnet, because now he's picked up this little spectacular, I guess they call it the boutique.
Yep.
It's a bed and breakfast up in was it
Melbourne-ish.
Melbourne?
Like
It's
south
not
of
Cocoa
Orlando.
Beach. What's the other one? It's man, but
There's Palm Bay.
no, the name of the hotel itself is Port de Hiver, like D apostrophe HIV,
It's like
like
a
de
French kind of
hiver,
a-
but it's de hiver, which in French is winter. So he bought it from a guy who had it as their like winter residence, and then it was converted into an Airbnb. I think there's only like 13 rooms. The website, it looks spectacular. If you go on to the webs and look at Port de Hiver,
Oh, it looks ridiculous.
and it's maybe where the Marlins used to train? Is it Melbourne?
Melbourne is
Maybe-
where the Marlins train.
Okay, I
They're
think
now in
then it
Jupiter.
is in Melbourne,
Yes.
but I'll double check that. But I want to get up there because those rooms look gorgeous.
Good luck.
And Frank, being Frank, he's a maniac because it's a B&B, so they had like little area that you could prepare some breakfast items,
Yeah,
and
they'll do
some omelets
breakfast.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But he wants to go full bore and put in a upscale, full blown, dinner service restaurant in there. So he's making plans to do that. He was hoping to get down here and join us on the show today, but I think something came up. But
Yeah.
that's okay. We still will have a party.
We'll be fine.
And
Suck.
and
Chef Sal will
Defo,
take care of us.
for the second straight month, misses a Casa
Yes.
Calabria lunchbox, which, look, we always love coming here. And even though I'm on my new austerity measures, and I did 3 miles walking
Yeah,
this
you're
morning.
sending us pictures, so we appreciate the proof.
Yep, I am proving
We
it.
believe you.
This is real. And even my daughter, I went out to dinner with her last night, and we went over to Gilbert's, our friends at Gilbert's, and Richie Gilbert had a rare night off. I did see Beth Gilbert.
Okay.
She did not have any key lime pie, or at least not for me.
You've had enough the last time.
No, she actually appreciated my critique because she said she had been making it, taking my feedback and kind of making it a little bit firmer. And she says she's been getting great feedback. She just was running around so hectic yesterday. She didn't get a chance to bake the pies. So she was doing it last night. So they were going to have their key lime pies back there. But me and my daughter, I had a bunless burger. And, so I had a little bit of red meat, a little bit of cheese, but at least I held the carbs, a couple of those sweet potato fries. But my daughter said last night, Dad, you look less bloated. So I will take less bloated as a compliment.
Children are so honest, no matter their age.
She didn't say skinny. She didn't say look better. And I'm by no means
Less bloated.
am I skinny, but she said less bloated. So
I don't know what that means.
we take baby steps here.
Oh my
But
God.
Lenore is doing great. And hopefully
thank God,
she
okay.
will be back when we visit them for our monthly appearance a week from
Next week, right?
tomorrow, next Thursday.
Nice.
Where are we at today? It's going to be the 28th when we go to Gilbert's, and hopefully Lenora will be up for actually being in the shop. I don't know if she's going to be fully back to work, but she will put in a cameo appearance on the
Nice.
lunchbox. Again, she has been battling some health issues, but on the mend, and we always like to see
She's
that.
a fighter.
Meanwhile, we're here. We're sipping a little red wine, and
Was I wrong?
Lubie,
Was I wrong?
I asked I said, "What'd you pour?" And he said, "I don't know." What was the
I
words you
said
said?
it had a lot of names.
You said, "I don't know."
A lot of
it was a
words.
wine with a lot of
I
words.
said it had a lot of words, so it looked interesting, more like a special kind of grape. which we haven't had here, and we always love wines that are a little different. And I brought it. So you tell me what name.
It's
if
a
my wife
classic.
asks you what is the name of this wine,
it's a classic. It's a Valpolicella Ripasso. Now, growing up back in the day in Brooklyn, we used to have, there was a wine brand, not the highest end, but I think it was called something, I don't know, but it was like a Rosso or something, but it was just basically Valpolicella.
Rosso,
you would know, but you would just you would call, it was a Valpolicella. And there was a Chianti, there was a Valpolicella, and then there was one other one I forget that you would pour it on the rocks. It was a red wine that you actually served chilled. That one was a little rough.
That's pretty rough.
Bola Valpolicella. Bola was the brand.
Okay.
Again, this was back in the day in the 70s when I would go out with my parents to restaurants around Brooklyn, and you'd get a bottle of the Bola Valpolicella for about $8, a whole bottle of it. In the stores, you'd see it for like $2.99.
Oh wow!
I'm dating myself. That means I'm getting old. But this is the La Sorte Valpolicella Ripasso, and I like a good Valpolicella grape. It's different.
Never had it, I don't think.
Well, I mean, the thing is, so many people now, I don't want to accuse Defo of being like a guy who's just always in a rut or just sticking with the same thing.
It's not a rut if you embrace it. It's a rut when you look at your life and you're like, oh, I wish I could get out of it. When you're like, you know what? He said, I like what I like, and I don't judge those.
He likes his Chardonnays.
He likes what he likes, and that's
his
fine.
Insipid white wines. And I'm going to just bash him in absentia, even though he's not on the plane. I don't know if he's watching. He's probably not.
He's not watching, but he's not on a plane.
But, he that insipid Chardonnay, those white wines.
White wines are fine, but again, it's what we did to him at the kitchen and bar, where we switched the wine and we made him try it, because that's my only problem is you can like what you want. I don't care. But I don't like that. Oh, have you had it? Oh, no. Then how do you say I don't like it if you've never tried it? Try it, and then if you don't like it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, especially with wines.
Because
like
if you shoot something down without trying it, that's ignorant, and that makes you Victoria Jackson on Let's See. Was Victoria Jackson one of the Charlie's Angels, or was she on the cast of Saturday Night Live?
I will say, I looked into the picture. It seems like it may be a real person, because they go back.
She's going
every
back
few
and forth.
days.
We're talking about the buzz of Let's Eat, this woman who had the nerve striding in on her high horse from Texas, proclaiming there's no good food in South Florida.
That's generic.
And I, like a schnook, took the bait and approved the post.
Yep.
And of course, it's just like 50,000, 1,000 comments. Everybody's taking the bait. My favorite comments, I saw that even you engaged a little bit.
I had to get in
Lubie.
a little bit, yes.
I saw our friend Jeffrey Lemmerman, Cheffrey Eats, who has that
he was going back and forth
burger food truck up in Boca.
He used it to market.
It's true. He challenged her and said, come on up, check out my burgers. I've got some good food. I'll stand by it. And she looked at his videos, and he always does some great work social media. Cheffrey Eats featured on Guy Fieri's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. And she was like, oh, wow, that looks great. I'm going to come up here. And it was like, see, as she he shrewdly marketed, and I said, you are both shameless. And I said, and we talked about it on yesterday's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox.
Exactly.
So everybody is using my favorite comments on there are the ones who are saying, why was this even approved? This group is really going downhill. And the other one chimes in, yeah, right, this is terrible. It's like, meanwhile, you guys, you're in the gutter with us. So take that. I mean, like, just ignore it. If you hate something so much, a post.
I like those things. I'm not gonna lie. It's very. My thing is, it's just, it was a little generic. It's like, look, they don't have good Chinese, which again we've proven that's not true. But fine, at least you're specific. When she's like, they have no good food. We have millions of people living here. Like, come on. I mean,
we're gonna disprove that in tenfold
like 10 minutes,
today
yeah.
with every dish that Chef Salvatore brings out.
This show alone shows the kind of food that is here. Let alone, you don't need this show, which I hope you find the show, and enjoy it. South Florida, look, if you want the guy Brian, who is really a big fan of South Florida food, he talks about a lot of different restaurants. He's a big fan of the show. Yeah, was saying it may not be New York or Chicago. I don't know. I don't want to get into it. I wasn't trying to argue with people. What I'm saying is, because we are lucky to have the Tri-County area and a bevy of hundreds to thousands of restaurants, I would put it up with any area. If you want to say you like New York or Boston, that's you. I put it up with it.
We might not have
the history,
the volume, and the history that a New York or a Chicago or even a Boston, maybe. Well, you know
They've
what?
been around
I'm
hundreds of
going to
years,
say
though.
this: South Florida in general. If some people just think of South Florida as Miami. When you include Broward, which has so many different ethnicities, 74 different types of cuisines, and all these mom and pop shops out beyond the touristy areas. You throw in Palm Beach County, and Delray is booming and has some great
And you go to
restaurants. in Palm
Miami.
Beach,
I mean, come on.
Miami, the 3-county area, which is 6 million plus people, that's top 5 food in the country. I
Well,
mean, you got New Orleans, San Francisco, New York, Chicago, Boston,
maybe LA.
LA. And then you've got, South Florida. Houston has a great food city. Philadelphia growing and good. DC used to be a food wasteland, is good. And Boston, you've got 10 there. And we're in top 10. So don't give me this crap.
Nah.
Dallas, I'm sorry. I'm not putting Dallas in top 10.
I didn't enjoy the food in Dallas. Look, my thing is this, and maybe I'm spoiled. Look, what I've heard out of Chicago, it's great steak houses and maybe some Italian. Like a lot of these areas outside of in New York, maybe in LA, it's great food, but you don't hear about the diversity.
Right.
To me, the fact that we have like 70, I don't know. I haven't been to Chicago.
Chicago has, a long time. It was a lot of, Polish and some of the, because of all the sausages and
the Midwest,
Midwest things, steakhouses. They have some great Italian food. They have a little bit of variety, but they've also been very much innovators in the food game with that whole molecular gastronomy. Alinea, it really kind of set the bar higher for some of the frou-frou Michelin star cuisine. So, I'm not going to badmouth Chicago. I always have a great food time. So again, I'm not badmouthing anybody. Just because one food place is great doesn't mean another can't be great either. I've said this before about restaurants. It's not a zero-sum game. It's possible for everybody to be great, and a rising tide lifts all boats. And, we see it in different pockets in different areas, like when we go down to Lauderdale by the Sea. I mean, and good restaurateurs get it. They don't see each other as competitors. They see each other as collaborators. They feed off each other, and they try to, improve, and they look, each one of them is trying to raise the bar, and they kind of view it as kind of a healthy competition where everybody is getting better. And if everybody's coming into a certain place and there are a bunch of different restaurants, well, one might be too crowded one night, so they'll go spill off and check out another
unless you're in
place.
Morocco, which I learned people really like their tagine. Most of us, especially when we're spoiled down here, we have Vietnamese and Chinese and Japanese and Peruvian and then Colombian and Cuban and like any kind of food you'd want, we not only have, but within 20 minutes of your home, maybe 10, you can find something great in that fare.
Anybody who says there's no good blank,
we have it.
Just isn't looking, because it all exists. It's just a matter of sometimes you have to get in your car and travel 30 minutes, but it's
but because of that, we are used to having diversified food day to day. That just goes to the benefit of restaurants. It doesn't hurt restaurants.
No, it's all there. And when somebody comes marching into town and says, "Oh, they don't have good pizza, they don't have good bagels, they don't have good Chinese food, they don't have good Texas barbecue, they don't have good," no, it might not exist in abundance, but it's there, and it's just a matter of doing the digging and going onto the Let's Eat group and going on to some other places that you trust, or word of mouth. And that's why we're here on the Lunchbox, because I consider ourselves the hidden gem of food media.
I don't know how hidden we are.
We're not Eater. We're not some of these big publications. We're not Food and Wine. But if you hung out here and just kind of listened to me, maybe not Defo so much, but and you're good, Lubie. I got to give you credit because you have an open mind, an open palate. Shirley's been good for you. You go around,
great to me,
and you've learned a lot. You're picking out the fancy wine with a lot of words.
I'm still who I am. That's the one thing. Defo mocks me. I've learned to like. Food is not only something to keep you surviving, but it's something to experience. I've never understood art so much, even though I try to be open to it. But I like thinking of food as some kind of an artistic experience, especially when we talk to chefs. The way that they describe food, it's like, wow, that was like a creation.
When I go out to, like some people, it's the whole live to eat, eat to live. Some people will cram in a dinner quickly before going off to a movie or a show or a sporting event. Me, I want to make the meal the main event.
Yep.
And that's why I don't mind sitting at a restaurant for 2 or 3 hours and having a nice bottle of wine and having a conversation,
Yep.
and maybe ordering 1 or 2 too many courses and dishes. And then you sit there and you see the way things are presented, and then you talk and you chat and you talk to the chef or talk to the manager, not just to complain when, that's the other thing. Like, I heard you guys mocking me this morning about always talking to the
Well, I don't ask for
manager.
managers. It just doesn't even dawn on me.
But I ask for them too when something is going right, and I want to give high praise to a place for being well run or everything well executed. They're entitled to know that as much as all the nitpicky complaints. And I like to do that because I guess it was my job. So I'm used to talking to management types and owners and chefs and proprietors. But I just love it. I love giving good feedback as well as some of the constructive criticism.
Well, what I've also found, not only doing the show, maybe it's opened me up to discussing with restaurateurs, both of the management and also in the back house on the grills and on the getting the food out to you variety is I was always sort of, whenever a manager or a chef would come out, I didn't want to bother them, right? I just wanted to get them back there because I know they're busy. I found they really enjoy, especially if you're open to discussing the food and the wine, not criticizing or even praising it, just discussing it. They really enjoy like having a chat with you about not only your meal, but
there's
other
a reason
meals.
Why it's called the hospitality business. A lot of these people that get involved, and we've seen it with Anthony Bruno, of course, now with Runway 84, you've past owner of that Andy's Life, and pretty much everybody would come in. Joey Esposito or Cafe
Well, Tom
Seville,
Tanazzini on a smaller scale, he's a restaurant.
Tanazzini, and the guys at Even Keel, Brett. They like going around. They like seeing the people smile and talk to them. I mean, they enjoy the hospitality aspect of it. So again, that's part of what we want to highlight here and spotlight the abundance and diversity of South Florida. And Victoria, we don't mean to beat up on you. It's just that when you come in like that with that kind of attitude, you kind of single, one of the rules of the group is be civil. Maybe there was some uncivil thing said, but it's all about you give what you get, or you get what you give. Both I guess. Ways, yeah. And she came in with this.
She came in.
It's one thing if she comes in saying, "Hey, I'm new to town. I haven't found much. I've had a lot of mediocre meals. Can somebody give me just maybe your top 3 spots or your best places for Italian and sushi?" No, she didn't come in. She just gave the blanket statement. I'm new. Everything here sucks. And prove me wrong. And
I think you did.
I think we did. Hey, let's get back to the task at hand, which is bashing Defo a little bit. So besides the Chardonnay, he's going back to Atlantic City for like the 100 millionth time, which is fine because it's his friend's party, 70th birthday.
It wasn't his choice this time.
The party sacks, and happy 70th.
Happy 70th,
Marty.
Marty's a great dude.
I've not met him, but hopefully I will soon, and he's going to make us some lunchbox merch, which will be available for the holidays. Lunchboxes and other items. No, but besides that, he goes to Atlantic City. He's getting everybody in his orbit is telling him, okay, enough with Chef Ebola already. Go to this new place.
We all say the same place. That's what's weird. You all say the same place.
Cafe 2825 is the new hotspot. And even Tommy Hutton on your morning show this morning, with unbeknownst to anybody that, you guys he'd been pushed to go there last time, and he said he had a reservation. He ended up not going. He ended up going back to the tried and true because that's our default. And again, Tommy Hutton says, "Oh, you got to check out this new place. My guy's telling me, Cafe 2825." And Defoe's like, "Yeah, we're not going to have time for that this time." He's going to stick with Chef Vola's, and which is fine. No knock against the tried and the true. I know every time I go to New Orleans, I have my spots. I got to go to Clancy's, so that's okay, Defo. But gosh, and then I started looking up Cafe 2825, and I forwarded him the map and the menu, and then they have what they call the tableside experiences. They spin the fresh burrata. They have a tableside Caesar salad. They have the pasta in the wheel. The place looks great. I mean, it looks like a Casa Calabria in terms of the things they do, old school hospitality, Southern Italian cooking. That's what you got here, and also table at whatever it's called, Cafe 2825 in Atlantic City. But no, Defo will be eating another leathery steak at Gordon Ramsay's because he gets it for free, but I can't
fight him on that.
No,
I just hopefully in these coming, because he's going to go back many times, that
of course
he finally gets out to this place, because I don't chastise him for being I don't know if he's set in his ways. He's not that bad.
He
but
is. He's pretty set.
he likes what he likes. He said it to Tommy. I don't chastise him for it, but I've learned as someone who's been lucky enough. The professor started me a few years ago. Then my wife and her family is very adventurous and they like to get out there, and food's a big part of it. And you working with you and seeing that it's so resoundingly evident here in South Florida, to me, you miss out on so much just having the same. Now, look, don't get me wrong. Sometimes we were in Morocco, we had the same thing for 5 straight days. We went to a place and had a burger and a chicken sandwich or a panini because we wanted something we knew we were going to enjoy.
Yeah, you wanted a little familiarity.
And that's okay. Yeah. But you don't have to do that all the time.
Not all the time. No, you don't go to a foreign land and just eat nothing but McDonald's. That's rude. But, after eating, 5 days of the tagine lamb and things with stewed prunes and couscous and then maybe one of his, what's the pastilla pie?
I had that once.
Maybe you want a little burger or plate of pasta now.
We were very happy.
That's good.
But you want to dive out there, and that's why a place like Casa Calabria is right in your wheelhouse.
All right. One last thing on Defo. I noticed this morning, because I'm listening to you guys as I'm doing my walk, and I did 3 miles this morning, which is good. But he was talking about that his townhouse now has 3 levels and all these stairs, and he was talking about the stair chair, that conveyor belt where you ride up and down for certain people. He was funny because you used to see those commercials. You don't see the commercials, but he was saying, have you ever seen it in anybody's house? And the answer is, for me, yes, I have. I've actually seen it installed in not only like somebody who was an elderly friend in Brooklyn that had an older parent that they needed to get up into a staircase. I've seen it there. And then also I had a cousin in Boston area that had a multi-level house, the same street that John F. Kennedy was born on, Beale Street. My cousin Betty, who was a forerunner and actually helped craft the Americans with Disability Act. She was born with polio, so she had all kinds of issues with walking and her feet and club foot, and she couldn't climb stairs very well. So she had one of those in her house from the time I was at college. And but my point being, these things are very handy, and Defo, be careful because you're 72.
Oh, jeez.
And, sometime in the next 10 years, those stairs might prove a little bit challenging. So I would think about maybe either getting a ranch house, one level.
I was going to say, why not just move?
Or start thinking about installing, God forbid. He's pretty healthy, but he's had some issues in the past with various, limbs and joints and things like that. So again, this is one of these things to be cognizant of as we age. And I think, everybody's in denial about aging and, death and all that stuff. But you got to be realistic that if you
how well do they work? I feel like whenever you see them in like movies, they always move so slow that it's going to die any minute. Like, do they work well?
They seem to work for people that are maybe on the lighter side. If you're somebody like me, tipping the scales at a quarter of a ton. No, not a quarter ton. But,
oh God.
Yeah, they could groan a little bit under the weight. You know what? I don't know, but all I wanted to say is, 3 levels. I'm a little bit concerned because I always view 10 years down the road, which is what makes me. People say a pessimist. I say it's a realist, but that's it.
Well, we're enjoying today.
Yeah, so. I am enjoying every moment. Enjoy every sandwich. That's our motto here. Hey, let's talk about our friends at Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market. We're going to be there tomorrow for our monthly appearance, and filling in and playing the role of Jeff Defo DeForest will be one Tony Segreto, legendary broadcaster. Tony has not been out to Delaware. I don't know about if ever or just for a remote show, but
he's talked about it, so he's been there. He just hasn't been with us.
And he's looking forward because he was like saying, "Do they have a restaurant there?" What I say, no, they set up a table in the middle of the sales of the shop for us in the middle of the lunch hour, and people are streaming around trying to grab all the different food, but that they have a kitchen area where they prepare items for takeout and people. And Tony was like, wow, that's fantastic. So we're going to be there tomorrow. We're going to be celebrating a couple of things, both Oktoberfest with sausages and all the great varieties.
Yeah, we see them every time. I'm so happy we're finally going to try it.
I got to be honest, I've never gotten sausages from there.
They have so much stuff.
Because they have so much other stuff. And, their forte, let's face it, is their seafood and fish selection. And again, when I'm trying to be on the healthier side, I always dive into the fish and the beautiful tuna and the grouper. And even now this time of year, they have the wild Alaskan salmon that they bring in. They also have the Mediterranean branzino, whole fish that they'll I guess they'll grill it for you or also fillet it. They'll do everything you want with the fish that they have in house. They have beautiful products, and of course, the Key West pink shrimp, Florida lobster
Yeah,
tail
the
still in
shell.
season. And before you know it, this is also what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, previewing the opening of stone crab season October 15th. Now, they don't have any stone crab claws
Okay,
on hand because
okay.
they're not like certain restaurants that keep a frozen
Frozen,
supply.
yeah.
But Jose, the seafood manager, I talked to him yesterday. So
That's
besides
funny.
having the different chicken, turkey, pork sausages tomorrow, he is going to bring in a couple of fish dishes. But
Okay.
next month, we are adjusting the schedule. We're going to move up our appearance.
I'm like, I feel like stone crabs are in our future.
Well, it was his idea because usually
Yeah,
we
yeah.
go there. I think it's like the third Thursday of the month.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, stone crab season begins October 15th. They get the
Oh, you know whose
greatest-
birthday is the next day?
Who's that?
Mine.
Oh,
And I'm not
oh.
even the biggest stone crab guy, but
Happy
I
birthday.
can't say no to stone crab.
Well, we're going to be in there the immediate Thursday after season begins, October 19th.
Nice.
It'll be
3 days
going
after
into
the
the
birthday.
first full weekend because the 15th falls on a Sunday. So stone crabs aren't really going to be in the store till Monday. So you'll miss out that whole first weekend football Sunday. So that first full weekend, we'll be in there on the Thursday, the 19th, and we're going to be looking at the beautiful product.
There he
Speaking
is.
of beautiful product, here's
Yeah,
Chef
that was like he
Salvatore.
heard the term.
But Delaware Seafood, stone crab season around the corner. We'll be there Thursday, 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, right across from the classic Seminole Casino. DelawareChicken.com is the website for the weekly specials, daily offerings. Go in there, tell them the Lunchbox sent you, and we'll see you there Thursday at noon.
This is Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. No Defo. Now you have me, so we're taking turns on our vacations.
Oh, we got some
I feel
beautiful.
bad for him because it's a bad day to be on a vacation, as Chef Sal is already adorning the table with tremendous dishes, and we will dive into them next, right here at Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort Hotel on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox.
It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. You want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
We're back. Oh, we're back. You caught us. This is what happens sometimes on the Lunchbox. We got unbelievable display of food here from Chef Salvatore, who I hope is coming. He laid down all this food, and we wanted to talk to him about it. And
We sort of need to because I can't keep track of everything that's here, so we need his help.
Lubie Lubitz. I got caught unawares there. I thought we had a little bit more time, but and there goes the diet. No, it's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change. And when I come out to these places, I have to have a couple of bites. There are some things that are
healthier.
I would say on the healthier side. We're celebrating two things, Mike Lubie Lubitz. Do you know what they are?
Oh, God, no.
Well, September is National Chicken Month. So I asked Chef Salvatore to prepare a chicken dish for us. And it looks like he's got here these pounded out breasts. He calls it chicken caprese. So it looks like a little light coating of the fresh mozzarella cheese melted on top with a little bit of roasted cherry peppers and
tomatoes.
And we got roasted potatoes, a nice vegetable medley. So I'm going to go in for this. And we're here at Casa Calabria once more. It is the lunch hour, and we do like to eat on the Lunchbox. And, you know, after I did my 3 miles on the beach, and I got to tell you, we had a nice breeze from the north coming in. Here he is, the man of the moment, Chef Salvatore. Make your way in there. I was about to have my first bite. But I was talking about my morning walk and how I need my exercise if I'm going to be eating all this fine food. But there was a nice breeze. I could almost feel the hint of fall around the corner. And fall officially begins this Sunday. So we're here, Casa Calabria, Chef Salvatore, once again.
Hi,
thank you so much. How are you this month?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Everything okay?
Well, that chicken caprese is more than okay.
As we're diving in, what do we have in front of us? Because it's an array of different proteins and vegetables and pastas. So what do we have here?
Okay, starting on the chicken caprese. This is in the menu.
Yeah, it's on the menu.
It's in the menu, the chicken caprese.
Delicious, light.
Serve on the veggie and roasted potato.
And it's National Chicken Month, as I was mentioning. So you do have some chicken dishes here. I know that.
Yeah, I have a chicken marsala too. I have a chicken piccata, chicken parmesan.
You do chicken parm? Because I know,
like,
you know, if you go to Italy, like Lubie, you were in Italy.
You didn't see chicken
You don't
parmesan.
see chicken parm. You're from, right.
No,
it's an American
dish.
dish.
This is Italian-American recipe, Italian-American.
Right.
For the chicken.
But you got to do it because everybody asks.
For chicken parmesan.
This is a better version of chicken parm, this chicken caprese. Can I ask you, is this like a kind of a more traditional recipe or something you would see in
traditional recipe from Calabria.
Yeah, beautiful.
From the family Mr. Frank Talarico.
It's like, what's it in? It's like sauteed in a butter?
It's olive oil, it's white wine, caramel onion, cherry tomato, a little bit of butter, salt and pepper, oregano, basil, a little put in the salamandra con the fresh mozzarella.
What do you think of that, Lubie?
I think it's fantastic.
And it's so light, and I mean, it feels so rich, but when you say it's just olive oil, and you know, again, that white wine, the flavor is just tremendous. It's a beautiful
the oil.
dish.
The secret is the oil, because the oil is you use original Italian oil. You have this flavor, fresh flavor. So you use different oil. It's normal that you need to put more spice inside for there are more flavor.
So we've got the chicken going. You brought out also a beautiful carpaccio. How is that prepared?
Serve on the truffle oil, salt and pepper, shove the parmesan, arugula, a little bit capers, and you put a lemon top for the cook and the meat.
What I appreciate is the flavors are distinct. They're strong, but it's also simple. It's not, because a lot of times people think to make something good, you have to overdo it. And it feels like you named like 5 things. You didn't name like a whole list of stuff, like it was very simplistic, clean, but the flavors are strong. They come at you, but they don't overwhelm you.
Yeah, no use a lot of ingredient. Just a good ingredient. The ingredient is very expensive.
Quality ingredients.
Quality
It's not cheap,
ingredient.
but it's
not
worth
cheap
it.
ingredient.
When each ingredient is of the utmost quality,
Yeah,
and you put them together and you don't overcomplicate
yeah,
it.
you use 3
have
ingredients. The
perfection.
flavor is perfect.
And I think Lubie hit on something. Is that I think that 5 ingredient rule? It really, I've heard from a bunch of chefs that you really don't want to clutter up a dish, and if it has more than 5, it's like editing in my line of work when I was a writer. If it's too cluttered up, you need an editor to cut some things out. And it's like, if it's getting to be more than 5, too many things are competing for the taste buds. But this carpaccio, I was in here a couple of weekends ago, I was mentioning to people, and we had this, and it's superb. And you have a little lemon if you want to kind of give it a little bit of squirt of a little bit more acidity. I usually maybe put a little cracked pepper on it too. But yeah, I mean, just the beautiful the cheese, the Parmesan Reggiano, the arugula, the capers, the olive oil, and the fillet of beef just sliced real thin.
Just sliced.
You freeze it. You
freeze it first because it's non-cooking. You cook it on the lemon.
Yeah.
The lemon cook the meat.
Yeah, I know on the Let's Eat group, people sometimes ask, "Oh, where do I get a good beef carpaccio?" I mean, there's a bunch around town, but I would definitely put Casa Calabria in among my favorites, among the tops.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Over here, you got what, a 4-cheese ravioli, and
This is stuffed ravioli with cheese. It's the sauce is a creamy spinach, and tomato datterini. The datterini is from Salerno, from Napoli, come from Italy. This tomato is a little bit sweet. No, it's similar to tomato confit, but this come sweet. Original is sweet.
Okay, very nice,
and the 2 jumbo shrimp I put on top.
Nice. And then we've got in the middle here that looks like a beautiful.
The middle is
fettuccine,
fettuccine, pesto,
house-made
pistachio,
fettuccine?
mushroom. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
That's gorgeous looking. So fettuccine with fungi, with the mushroom
porcini
mushrooms,
pesto pistachio,
pesto with the pistachios,
wow.
the Bronte pistachios
Yeah.
from Sicily, nothing but the best.
and 2 jumbo shrimp, and the datterini, yellow datterini tomato,
The tomatoes again, and a couple of cross-hatched shrimp.
cross pistachio.
Is that the shrimp also? You got the jumbo shrimp.
jumbo shrimp?
Gulf shrimp? Or,
I have a jumbo shrimp
Mm.
for all dish. I don't use the small one, just jumbo.
Nice. It's gorgeous. And again, we've got the ravioli and the fettuccine because October is National Pasta Month. So
okay. Nice.
and I know that Chef Salvatore always comes up with some pasta specialties. So this dish, this fettuccine with the pesto and the pistachio porcini mushroom, it will be the
It's
special
all together. Yeah, the
in
special
October.
You have a both in October.
Both those, that
Yeah.
ravioli.
2 pasta
So
special.
pasta lovers, you're in for a treat. And this is what happened to me on my last visit here on a Saturday night. He's like, "Oh, you got to try this, but I got to have also the gnocchi, which is so great." So we got, of course, one of each, a gnocchi and a pasta specialty.
The other
And
one, pasta special.
Did
yeah.
we take home some leftovers? I don't even remember. Probably not. It was all so good. But it was,
It's rigatoni pistachio.
yeah,
the
we
other
took a
one.
little of the rigatoni home
pistachio,
because
and
we
you
had to
put
save
a little
room.
bit of lemon on top
Yeah.
for the flavor come out.
Yeah, I did a little brightening. But again, we had that fantastic meal, and I was telling the people before about the spectacular Dover sole that we had. Is that typically on the menu, or is that a seasonal specialty?
No, just it's for special. I make I change the special every day. I love
So you
to
do.
make
And and that's what I was curious, because I know Frank, a lot of the recipes were a combination of Frank's family, you as well. It was a group effort.
yeah.
When it comes to the specials, do you just come up on your own? Is it a daily thing that you're working? Because it feels like your specials are not only the main menu, we love it, but the specials have a little flair to them that it feels like it comes from Chef Sal to me.
The special I make is I open the fridge. This is my job.
Okay.
Open the fridge, check the ingredient that I have. Okay, this today made together and make a special.
Oh wow. It comes like that.
no have my recipe.
So
This
you're not
is
researching,
instantly.
You're not researching. You're not planning. You're like, oh, we got this. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
But Dover sole is not like that. You have to special order that. It has to become,
Yeah,
special.
special, but the sauce I make in the moment is standard.
What was that sort? It was like olive oil again with a little bit of
olive oil? You have a cherry tomato, shallot,
shallots, right?
Yeah.
Shallots were in there.
shallot, and the brandy sauce.
Brandy. You put a little brandy
Yeah.
in there. It wasn't a citrus. It was brandy,
Brandy,
and
yeah.
that made that sauce, and it just was like velvet over the beautiful. I was telling about how you were like a surgeon, like Dr. Christian
Yeah, you did a
Bernard,
table
the heart
side. That's
surgeon.
amazing.
Table side service. So let's say people that saw that on the Let's Eat group are dying for Dover sole. Can they call up and say, "Will you have it on a certain day," or can they special order it? How would that work?
No, so the customer call for Dover sole. I buy Dover sole and make it.
Okay.
Okay.
So you just
Fresh.
need like a
Yeah,
day,
just,
a 24-hour advance
yeah.
notice, and say,
I
"Hey, we're
would,
coming in here
before.
Saturday. We would love a Dover sole tableside prep, like I saw on Mike Mayo's lunchbox and Let's Eat." You would take care of it,
So
and sometimes it's just
yeah,
on
so
there.
the
Anyway.
customer like a different dish. Just call 1 day before for the I buy the ingredient for the makeup, the special for the customer.
How's that for customer service?
I was going
Lubie?
to say that's amazing.
That's great. I mean,
I didn't know you could do
and
that.
this is what we were talking about before you came on the air. It's just how many people in the restaurant business are in the hospitality business. They want to please people. They want to say yes. You just have to communicate and give a little advance notice. Now, there are some places like chains and corporate places where everything is set and ironclad and everything gets tested and it has to go up the flagpole for 4 months. But one of the beauties of coming to an independent place that's run by obviously a top-notch chef and a guy like Frank Tallarico, who is all about pleasing people and not putting a lot of red tape on things. You can put something on the menu and make a special, and it's going to be great. And it doesn't take a lot of meetings and things like that. Yeah,
the same every day. The customer, when I talk on the customer in the bar and the table, I have this option. No? You make a new dish. I have an ingredient in the home. I make the dish. Okay, the customer I like it. Different in the menu, different special. Because my goal is that the customer is happy and come back in the restaurant.
There you go.
And I also find that the kitchen, when they change things up a lot, they don't get bored either. It's not just doing the same ABC every day. It's like, oh, we got something new. I got to come up with a sauce that matches the fish. And
The kitchen is a big word for me.
Oh, man. So, now, you went to hospitality school in Italy, or
In Italy, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it's in a European thing. It's the way we do have culinary schools here, which has become much more popular, I'd say, in the last 20 to 30 years. I think ever since the Food Network came on board and chefs became real like celebrities and superstars. A lot of times before, it was just people would get thrown in the kitchen, line cooks, they'd learn on the job. But in Europe, I know that hospitality schools have always been a big deal. And that's why it seems like the European run kitchens, the European chefs really do have that extra touch and flair, and they know how to make guests happy, correct?
Yes, correct.
And you went, how long is the hospitality? How long does it take to go through? Is it like a 1 or 2 year
It's
program?
25, no, that longer in the school?
Yeah.
5 years.
It's a 5-year
wow.
program.
Yeah.
It's
For
like going to
hospitality
college
school?
with the graduate
It's a
degree.
college, yeah.
And
Because you start not just for the food.
Mhm.
You start first for the server, voice organizer.
Oh, so it's literally a hospitality school.
Yeah, everything is
And
it's
is it
complete.
including hotels?
Including hotels.
That's the thing. A lot of them come
wow.
out of these schools where they could go in, they could become a concierge at a 5-star hotel. They could work the front desk at a hotel, or they could go in the kitchen and prepare a quality, Michelin star meal. Like they learn all
Because
aspects
you have
of
a
the
step.
business.
That's
The
amazing.
first years, you're a teacher for the table, when they serve the plate, where you put the glass of wine, why is the glass of water, why is the fork for the fish, why is the fork for dessert, everything. Later for the bar, for the wine, for everything, and then you start prep for the kitchen.
Well, that's so funny because last time, remember, he offered to make us coffee, and we're like, I don't want to have the chef do that. He got back there. I don't know what happened. He looked like a barista.
He knows how
He
to
did like
work
a whole
machine,
thing.
a
Well, I don't know.
special machine.
Chefs don't always,
Guys from
do
Italy,
that. Like,
come on.
Yeah, but
he got
everybody.
back there. Like,
And you
like,
start
wow, good for
everything
him.
for the cappuccino, cafe, dessert, wine, bartender, for the cocktail. The school in Italy teach you for everything.
that's amazing.
I think the restaurants here in this country need this kind of
Yeah, I was
level
gonna
of
say.
education and training, because it seems like some people now just get slapped on the floor right off the street. They don't know anything. And again, I blame the restaurant management as much as the servers, because they're being thrown in without proper training and education. And you really can tell when somebody is a professional, trained professional, such as yourself, that knows all aspects of the industry. And
That's
it really
amazing.
is a treat. It's one of the things that sets Casa Calabria apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess you know what, we should probably take our
One more break.
next break. We gotta kind of we'll be back, and this will give us more time to eat more food during the break, because it's all delicious. I gotta tell you, I cannot wait to dive into that fettuccine. It is calling my name. I've got the devil saying, "Michael, come." And then I got the angel, my cardiologist, saying, "Michael, you know
Exactly.
what's going to happen if you keep
Staring
eating."
at you.
So two bites we'll have. And we'll be back to wrap up this edition of the Lunchbox from Casa Calabria with Chef Salvatore after these words.
Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all: Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Beach Cafe. It's a South Florida landmark, and it's one happy restaurant right on the water. Tables literally on the beach. A place where you could dip your toes in the sand, kick back, relax with island vibes, tropical drinks, and live music daily. You know it. It's at One Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. And of course, it has Chef Chris Nealon and his famed Caribbean Floridian cuisine. With a huge menu with something for everyone: seafood, raw bar, conch fritters, burgers, sandwiches, salads, deli specials, and of course, that famous Bimini bread. They've got a great staff that'll take great care of you. There's something to celebrate every day. Open 7 days until late. Parking available on site. Happy hour weekdays 4 to 7 p.m. Go check out more at ArubaBeachCafe.com. Better yet, go in there yourself at Aruba Beach Cafe. Good food, drinks, friends, and laughter are always the catch of the day. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you.
We're back, and once again, caught with my mouth full.
That never happens.
I thought I had another 10 seconds because I'm trying to sneak a bite of this October special pasta, the house-made fettuccine that is bathed in a beautiful porcini mushroom sauce with, I guess he calls it a pesto, porcini, with
pistachio.
a little bit of crushed Bronte pistachios. This is so good.
I haven't gotten to
I'm not exactly sure what my cardiologist would be saying. I'm just going to go in and get a little bit of the that beautiful porcini mushroom. And wow.
Well, I will
Chef
say,
Salvatore once again.
Oh, Chef Salvatore does it
Pulling
big
out
once
all
again.
the
but
stops.
I'll
And
say you haven't measured your portions, so I don't know what you're doing the rest of the day, and that's the problem. Is you're going to go to Tom T's, and I don't know how measured your portions.
Wait, are you saying I have or have not?
You
measured?
You have.
I've been
Today
showing some
you've been
restraint.
measured. Yes. I just your issue becomes
Not doing any more
the
Mike
rest of the
Mayo
day.
Monster Bites.
It's
We're
the
going to
rest
put
of the
that on
day.
hold. Maybe we'll have a special holiday edition where I'll just, if I hit some milestones in my road to recovery.
Exactly.
But how good was that in terms of we learned about? I knew that they had these all-encompassing hospitality schools over in Europe and Italy, France. But I did not realize it was 5 years. That's like a graduate program here. You get undergraduate at a graduate degree. And it just shows how well-versed and how versatile. And like you said, they're all like, what do they call them? The 5-tool players. They like somebody could go down in the kitchen and the front of the house guy that's trained in Europe can go right into the kitchen and start cooking, and vice versa. There could be, the bartender is missing and they go right on to, throw somebody in the bar and they know how to make any kind of classic cocktail.
Well, and look, and I know a lot more goes into it. I know wages, and there's a lot of things. I get it from what our service industry compared to overseas service industry.
They're considered professionals and they're paid accordingly, and there's no tipping.
So
it's included, and they have all kinds of good, benefits included in their work package.
So, and I get that. I'm not judging service, whether here or over there. But one thing I will say is when you go to restaurants sometimes, and I know most places nowadays are shorthanded just all the time, and now there's sort of at least I can sort of feel a stress level. Like you can see people are working and there's a lot going on, and they're stressed out, and I understand it when you're shorthanded. That's how it is. Overseas, I've sort of noticed that, like, there's always, and maybe it's just the attitude, it's a lot more relaxed. They take siestas and whatnot, but even when they're shorthanded, they never seem to lose their cool. There's always seems to be some kind of an understanding. We'll get through this. We're a team. We'll figure it out. And I feel like that has a lot to do with it. Like they know no matter what, whoever's out,
they have each other's
the other
backs.
person has it.
It's not as cutthroat, again, because it's not dependent on tips, and some places pull tips and some places don't.
No, yeah.
So that there really is this team effort of like we all sink or swim together, and they all rally together and they pitch in if something is. I what I hate most when I go out to eat is you're at a table and you're trying to find your server, and then somebody walks right by you and you say, excuse me, and they say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not your server.
Yes.
It's like, well, I don't care whose server you are. You're working at the restaurant and you see a guest that is looking to get something or needs something. You immediately step in and say, what can I do for you?
It's funny you say that, because whenever you're at a restaurant, you look for my guy, my
and they always
waitress,
disappear right
server.
when you're looking for the bill and the check.
Well, what's funny is, but you feel like if you talk to anyone else, you've been conditioned now because of those responses to not even try. When you're overseas, wherever you are, like whoever the person is nearest you, they will take over and they don't mind it. They don't chastise you. They don't criticize you. And it's like, okay, I don't get why they're. It's just weird. It's a different air to the service,
different
good or
mentality.
bad.
Again, when people travel abroad, and I do encourage that. I don't know. Defo does have a passport because he went to Italy last year.
Yeah, he went to Italy.
But and you have become a seasoned foreign traveler. But it gives you insights of there are different ways of doing things and viewing the world and different philosophies. And in America, we are very geared towards rugged individualism and capitalism and
Yep,
raise
get out,
yourself up
get out.
by your own bootstraps. And overseas, and again, they have, medicine, health, universal health care. Okay, am I reaching that I tie
Yeah, I'm
everything
not even-
together?
yeah,
But
I'm
it's
not-
a mentality that it is more of, and socialism has become a dirty word here. But true socialism is you kind of have a sense of community. And in America, a lot of times it is just every man for himself. Now we've kind of stretched widely from
Yeah,
but you see a microcosm, just like sports is a microcosm of life.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes restaurants can be a microcosm of a culture, and again, the European Italian way is a little bit different than what we see stateside.
Well, and
here.
look, and I know we're wrapping up here, but like last night, look, I went out to trivia. I was in a rush. I had to stop somewhere, get something to eat quick and move. And that I understand. There's nothing wrong with that. But I also do like that over there. Not every meal's like that.
Yeah.
At least once a day. Usually lunch is like their big meal.
Yeah.
You gather around and you have a meal.
Family
and
time,
it's an
community.
experience.
Nobody's on their phone.
You're not on the phone. You're not on the
They're
clock.
talking. They're having conversation. They're enjoying life, and we need more of that.
And I feel like a place like this
that's why
embraces that.
we love that. And again, they're only open for dinner, so you can't have that European style big lunch.
But they have a late
but
dinner
they
there.
have a very nice dinner service. I highly encourage everybody. A couple of things. Did you notice that the well-trained, hospitality schooled chef did not say a word about you pouring the wine into the water glasses?
Yeah, I was going to say these aren't wine glasses, and I do know that, but they look close enough to wine glasses, and I wasn't going to start
I saw him
rummaging for
twitching a little
glasses.
bit. He's talking about everything. You're supposed to have the
I just
proper
don't know where they
glasses.
are, and I'm not going to start messing with
It's
things
all
here.
good.
So.
And then just going off about how, okay, so this goes into the heading of, our culture here in the United States. Well, actually, this is a South Florida weird thing. I noticed this. It happened to me yesterday.
Okay.
South Florida is the unusual place when people are trying to do kind of the courteous thing.
Mm-hmm.
It enrages people. And my example, this happened to me, and it happens a lot, where you come to a four-way stop sign at the same time, right?
And no one goes.
And you're like waiting, okay,
Do
who's
I
going to
go?
go? And you wave the person to go, and they refuse.
They refuse.
And then they wave to you, and then you're like, well, no, I already told you to go. So then you start getting angry that the person that you're trying to say
Rejected.
go, it's like, no, I told you to go. You go. You son of a bitch. You bastard. How can you not go? And then you end up both going at the same time, and
Well,
you have a head-on
what I was
collision.
going to say is you end up going then, and then that's when they go.
And it's something I just happened to notice. It's happened to me a bunch, and it's just one of those South Florida things. Hey, Tropical Acres Steakhouse, don't
Yes,
forget to go
yes.
in there, 2500 Griffin Road. We love the Studiali family. If you're looking for great value service, again, a place, Studiali family,
Hospitality.
they have run it for a long time, and they may not be European classically trained, but every
feels
component
like it.
of the service. And talk about, Joe and Jack, they have people that front of the house
Yep.
cooking. They'll do whatever needs
Yep.
to be done. If they're shorthanded, you'll see Joe get behind the grill and start
You did it
cooking
when
up
we were
some of
there.
those beautiful filet mignons. Again, they got the rack of lamb. He knows how to do it all. They'll jump into the bar if they need to start making a couple of classic martinis and Negronis. Happy hour there is in the bar, 4 to
Fantastic.
6:30. Half price drinks, great light bites, very, very value priced. And of course, you got all the great dishes in the main dining room. Open every day but Sunday. The Twin Lobster Special is ongoing,
Nice.
even through the early part of the fall. I think that goes all the way through mid-November.
Ooh, man,
So
put the bag out there.
$39 for your twin steamed fresh Maine, North Atlantic lobsters with a salad and a side dish. That's the other beauty there. A la carte, it's a dirty word there. Everything comes with the salad and the side dish. We love Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. And again, open every day except Sunday. All right. That's going to do it. That was a successful show.
Of course. It's hard not to have success when you're here. Look at what is in front of us.
This is, again, and one other note, and I wrote about this in my, I did a post, kind of a review post about Casa Calabria. They've put in this new air conditioning system here.
I'm like freezing now.
And
I'm like
I need
Nick
a sweater
Snail.
because that was like one little thing here that it was a little bit older system, and
Yeah, it
sometimes
wasn't like Frank's fault.
when the room was crowded, it could get a little bit, on the warmer side. But now it is pumping out that low
You spoke
humidity
and
AC.
they answered.
He put in a whole new system, and it's very, very cool and comfortable in here while you are just enjoying the good life with all these
Wisconsin
spectacular
luxury.
dishes. So again, Casa Calabria, 4040 North Ocean Drive, right on the Galt in Fort Lauderdale. I highly encourage it. They're closed on Mondays, dinner only. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. And until tomorrow, when we're at Delaware with, we're going to be having our Oktoberfest Sausage Fest, along with enjoying some of their seafood items. Jose said he might throw us another little Florida lobster tail because it's still in season. And I said,
I would say, no, that was fantastic.
Who am I to argue?
It's on your diet.
And then we'll be back there for the start of stone crab. I can't believe it. And you know what happens? The start of stone crab season means it's almost the end of hurricane season. And knockwood, get another kind of 6 weeks of that. All right, for Mike Lubitz and the traveling Jeff Defo to Forest, I'm Mike Mayo saying enjoy every beautiful Italian dish and enjoy every sandwich.